Hey guys, so this is the beginning of episode 8. This is going to be the fishing episode. Like I said, I'm going to try to get into detail a little bit about what you need to do to fish, what's going to be required, what you can catch, all that good stuff. And like I said, hopefully we can get some good loot out of doing a little fun hobby today, a little pastime. Like I said, the reason that we're doing this is we want our crops and stuff to grow, so it's just a good way to pass the time in the game, but also you can possibly benefit from getting some pretty good loot. So let's keep our fingers crossed and get into this episode. It's fishing. So if you can, let me see if I have some string right here. If I have some string, I'll do it right now. Perfect. So here's what I have. I have some string right here, and I have a couple pieces of sticks that I can make. Cool. So what we'll do is we'll make a fishing rod. So let me dump everything that I don't need real quick. Just so I have some inventory space here. What I'll do is I'll throw a chest right here, and I'll throw in everything I don't need. Cool. And we got the extra potatoes. Cool. Alright, so since we want these crops to grow, and we're going to try to stay nearby them so they actually do grow still, what we'll do is we'll just start doing a little pastime in the game. It's fishing. Now, fishing can be super useful, but also it's just a good way to pass the time sometimes. There's a drown over there with a trident, so let's try to kill him real quick, because that guy will actually hurt us if we don't take care of him. There we go. Cool. Those guys with the tridents, they can actually sometimes drop those tridents, which are cool, but later stuff. Not worried about it right now. Alright, so fishing. Super basic mechanics of this is basically you just need water and a fishing rod. So, oh, there's another drown on there. Get him real quick. Cool. Alright. So let's try this again. Fishing, super simple. Fishing rod, check. Water, check. So what you'll do is you'll cast it, depending on what you're playing. Like I said, I'm playing on the controller, so left trigger, it's going to cast it out. So you'll wait until you see some fish swimming up to it. You'll see like the little bubbles and stuff, which I'll try to point out. And this is just a waiting game at this point. So what you'll do is you'll wait for the bull right here. As soon as the bobber goes down, you're going to try to catch it, okay? Fishing can be basically broken down into 3 different categories that you can catch. Obviously, you can catch fish from fishing. Then there's junk loot and treasure loot, okay? Junk loot is your basic stuff like tripwires, leather scraps. You can find bowls, leather boots, leather, I want to say like leather chest plates or something like that. Basically stuff that you won't really actually need. Bottles of water, glass bottles that you can find. All stuff that's kind of useless, that you don't really need. And then the last category is treasure. Treasure can be saddles, treasure can be bows, enchanted bows. Lily pads, I think, are considered treasure. So there's quite a few things that are just not fish that you can catch. But also, one of the most important things is other fishing rods that you can catch. Fishing rods can have, I think, 3 or 4 different enchants on them. Maybe even 5, but the 5th one's not really important. So there's lure for your enchantments, for your fishing rods, which lure basically just increases the rate of fish that you can catch and decreases the amount of time it takes between casts. So that's pretty useful. Luck of the Sea is another enchantment that you can get on your bow. If you see Luck of the Sea, that means that it's going to increase the luck on your fishing rod, which obviously decreases the chance of getting junk, which we talked about earlier with the fish, the junk, and the treasure. So we don't want to catch junk stuff. So we want to catch treasure, obviously, is what we're trying to get. Because enchanted books is the most important thing that you'll probably get from fishing. So I'll probably just do a little montage here of just fishing, because it takes a while, especially if you just have a basic bow, or a basic rod, which is what I have. And hopefully we can actually find a enchanted fishing rod. And I can try to show you these things. The other ones, like I said, there's the boots that we talked about. So we've caught fish, we've caught leather boots, which again is considered junk. And then, I got a text message. And then we can also catch treasure. We haven't caught any treasure yet, but we're going to keep trying. Now there's a lily pad. A lily pad is considered treasure. Not really sure why, but they're pretty cool that you can walk on them, especially if you want to make like a little sugarcane farm or something. The lily pads, we can actually, I can show you right here. You can actually walk on these lily pads. So whenever you have the stalks of the sugarcane growing, you can actually put those in between and it'll drop right down. So that's pretty fun. You don't really want to cast it this short because if you have the fishing trail coming up from the other side, you won't be able to see it and it'll just pop down. So just make sure you stay aware of the bobbers. When as soon as it goes down, you want to reel it back in. So as far as the fish goes, I think you can catch 4 different kinds of fish. There's pufferfish, clownfish, cod, and salmon. So, oh, there's a bone. I think the bone is actually considered junk as well, but obviously we like bones around here, so I'm not too mad at catching a bone. Ouch. Basically from our fishing that we got, just real quick for that one time of the day period, we've got the raw cod that we talked about, we've got the salmon, and we've got the pufferfish, and finally the tropical fish, or the clownfish, whatever it was. Now these are the 4 different kinds of fish that you can catch. Obviously a good example of some of the junk that we caught is the leather boots. Usually always has the durability damage on it, so they're usually pretty damaged. Trip hook wire, which we really don't need. Leather, these are things that we got from killing zombies and spiders, but and then some of the junk that we got here. Haven't really caught any treasure just yet, besides our lily pad that we placed down into the water. But like I said, as far as the treasure goes, I believe the treasure that you can catch is like name tags. I can actually look it up real quick. You can catch saddles, lily pads, name tags, enchanted books, the seashells, bows, and then obviously the fishing rods, what we talked about. And those will be the treasure ones. We haven't really caught any of those just yet, but it's not really to be surprised about because we really just have the basic rod for right now. So fishing, fishy, fishy. Are you kidding me right now? A mending bow? That's so awesome. So if you guys don't know why I'm excited, mending, basically what happens is if you get experience from something and you have your mending item in your hand, it actually heals it. So let me try to show you an example. It'll be kind of hard to see, so I'm going to kill this pig. I'll have my mending bow out. And did you see it go up a little bit? A little chunk of it went up. No. Make sure I have the mending bow out. Yeah, you didn't really get to see it there, but that's fine. Come on. Of course, there's no animals to kill right now. Of course, there we go. It's kind of hard to see here. Let's go down the spawner. I'll put this right next to it so it's easier to switch to. And just watch the durability on this bow. I'm being sure to switch very carefully after each kill, so when I gather the experience orbs, it's going to the bow. And just like that, our nearly broken mending bow is now completely repaired. So we're going to save this bow, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a bunch of different enchantments to it. The way that we can do that is by making an anvil, and we'll take other bows that have different enchants, like you can see a couple in here. Unbreaking 1, Power 2, Punch 1. We can add mending to that by mixing them in the anvil, and it'll make a very powerful bow. There's two different enchants that don't work together. That's called Mending and Infinity. Okay. Infinity means that even if you only have one arrow in your inventory, you can still shoot unlimited arrows. Okay. It's a very good enchantment, and one that I would typically pick over Mending because, like I said, they won't work together. But because we have a skeleton spawner, I have plenty of arrows. So instead of having a infinite arrow bow or infinity arrow bow that can shoot unlimited amounts that will take durability damage over time, I will instead probably make one with mending on it. That way, because I know that I won't run out of arrows because I have plenty here. I almost have 4 stacks, well, almost 3 stacks, just by sitting here for a few minutes and killing some skeletons. Not to mention that I have another skeleton spawner that I just found last episode. So things are looking very good for us as far as weapon goes, because this mending bow is going to be awesome for us. And that was the first actual like treasure that we got from fishing. So fishing seemed like a little lazy pastime, but it's really just paid off for us a little bit later, because once I start mixing these bows, or even once I start enchanting bows at an enchanting table, it's really going to pay off. So just so you guys can see that I have this mending bow, since I have some arrows in my inventory, I can just start shooting. Cool. And poof. Just like that, my bow's repaired. Awesome. Super excited for this whole situation. Another enchanted bow drop too. Another power 2. Oof. So basically, when you take an anvil and you mix like a power 2 and a power 2, it turns into a power 3. So technically, I could get it probably to power 4 by mixing these bows together. Unbreaking 2, power 4, punch 2. Punch only goes up to 2, so that's all I'm worried about. I mean, technically, but it's going to get too expensive, so I'll probably wait until I get an actual enchantment table before I start mixing all these things like I want to. But Wow, that's a really great find. So let's head back up and we'll finish off this fishing rod and see what else we can get from it. Like I said, hopefully we can get another better fishing rod so we're getting a little bit more treasure than before, but like more than excited about what we just got here, so. Fishy, fishy. Here. Hi, bud. There you go, play. Alright, I'm right back. It turns out in order to record videos on your computer, you need what's called storage. And I apparently ran out of that while I was recording the last bit of this last episode. So you might see a little bit, some minor changes into the map that I played for like probably 15-20 minutes that just didn't record. So I'll do a brief walkthrough real quick of what we missed, because I went to go take my dog out at the end of the last little clip there, and here we are. So while we were away, I actually planted some sugarcane just to start growing while we were fishing, so we could save a little bit more time, be a little bit more efficient. So all that sugarcane needs next to it to grow is one block of water directly next to it. So I made 2 little rows here. That way while we're fishing it can start growing. And there's a second row here. It needs also this little source of water so it can still grow. And then we have that little row there. Other than that, you can see about probably a quarter durability damage was taken from my fishing rod just from basic fishing while I was standing here as well. You'll see a couple little things that I caught, nothing crazy. Still no more treasure, but we're looking to change that right now. Alright, that John's getting too close. Ouch. Hey, you got the shell. A nautilus shell. Really hoping we catch a better fish.
Alright, take a little break from fishing real quick and check on our potatoes. They should be all about. We'll top off whatever we need to top off here. So nearly all the potatoes here are fully grown now, and that's just from the time that we've been sitting there fishing. Like I said, since we're so close to the field, we're allowing these things to grow. So we're going to very carefully try to pick up all the fully grown here. You can tell they're fully grown just by the height of them. They'll be a little bit taller than all the ones around them. Good. That was just fine. Booyah. So we got just about 3.5 stacks of potatoes from harvesting all that. So let's see what we have total here. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 6.5. 6.5 stacks of potato. Oh, actually I got some over here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.5 stacks of potatoes so far, which is absolutely fantastic. Alright, looks like it's about that time. Oh, and while we've been over here, we also have 2 of our sugar canes have actually grown. And put these drones. Alright, and just because these sugarcane have grown, like I said, we can break down sugarcane so it's going to fall completely. So in this example, you'll see the 2, we can break this down, but then we'll have to replant. Given that this is going to be just a little farm for us, we can just take the top one, and that bottom stalk actually stays there and keep growing for us. So we'll make sure we can do that whenever we can. There's an Enderman right there. Shovel just broke, unfortunately. But here's what we're going to do. Alright, we'll make a temporary little shelter real quick. That way when we fight this guy, he can't hit us. Fast boy. I wasn't standing right in the middle. So he was able to pop us one time real quick, but that's okay. we got iron armor, so we can take that. Ooh. He didn't drop a pearl, but that's okay. And we can actually move this little temporary thing here. I'm okay with it, just in case we see any more Endermen, because we're going to want to start saving those pearls. We're going to go ahead and call this episode 9? Maybe? I'm not sure. But either way, end of this episode, we're going to call it here. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got our sugarcane farm growing. We've got another stalk over there that just grew up a little bit. We've got our potato fields still growing. Full speed ahead. So we're going to get in plenty of potatoes that we're going to have. We still have our secondary skeleton XP farm that we're going to make over there. Probably in the next couple of episodes or anything like that. And we still have to get through this fishing rod. So ironically enough, during our last little fishing session, we did catch another fishing rod, but it doesn't have any chance on it, unfortunately. So if this one does break, we already have another one, and we can always make extras. But thanks for watching, guys. If you're liking what you're seeing, do all the things you've been doing, like, subscribe, comments. If you want to see something, throw it down in the comment section about what you want to maybe see me do. Other than that, I'm still looking at this mending bow. I love it so much. But like I said, just let me know what you want to see, and if I can do anything to make it better, also let me know. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. He's like, what are you doing? Bro, I need you to get me views.